iOS. iOS. It's an odd thing. Along comes Apple with a product that revolutionises the market, and then they proceed to do bugger all about innovating from that point and wallow in their money. I guess they're allowed to, it's just disappointing. And yet somehow they get a free ride even whilst other operating systems outdo them. I think that finally explains what iOS stands for: incredibly overhyped system. Or maybe insufferable overt smugness. Anyway, I open with this because the version I have is on the iPad, which I was given as a gift. I think if I caught myself actually buying an iPad, I'd have to hack my own hands off. However, to business. The original release of FF3 was in 1990, but unfortunately I didn't notice it, partly because I wasn't bored and partly because I was too distracted celebrating the election of Violeta Chamorro as the Nicaraguan president. FF3 is an interesting beast in that it's changed dramatically through the course of being remade. The original was actually fairly light in the story department, but the subsequent remakes have added stronger focus on the main cast of characters, which is a good way to go about remakes, being unafraid to change things that don't work too well. On the other hand, FF3 seems to take the attitude that if a boss can't be made challenging through the usual routes, it should be made unfair, with bosses from early on being given 2 or more moves per turn, which is the equivalent of turning up to the office paintball game with bulletproof armour and an AK. What FF3 also does is be the first to introduce a double overworld, which is something that I'm in big support of, since it helps to keep things fresh even after the first airship has been introduced. But what it doesn't do is break down the barrier for entry that I call the psycho barrier. You know the barrier. One form is the barrier that stops me from getting into an MMO or learning the level up system from FF10. The one here, however, is the sort of attitude that games still had when they were in their infancy and hadn't quite adjusted for the fact that they no longer needed to empty the player's pockets of disposable income since they'd already bloody done that. Not that I'm saying that a game should be easy, I'm just saying that a game shouldn't present us with the most challenging experience it has, then lock us into a place where we can't even save. It's this kind of dick move that encourages me to start killing again. I mean, might make me consider killing in the first place, because I haven't before. Ever.